Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. So, in the recent past, I couldn't understand why these doctors were trying to diagnose me out of nowhere when I began speaking, and why all of a sudden they tried to give me an aggravated assault or aggravated battery out of nowhere. And when dealing with the court system, as I've told you all before, they deal with a lot of old laws. And what they'll do is they'll do a lot of old ceremonies within even the courtroom. And so it's just, I was like, no, how's this conspiracy tying together? What's happening? Why? How does this tie into me speaking on the internet? And then it hit me. Even them offering me 14 days for a misdemeanor. If I'm under state control, whether it be warded to the state, whether probation, parole, any of those things, under any of, like, even if DCFS comes and they try to make me take classes, which all that stuff is irrelevant. That happened in my previous video. As I told you, they came and tried to pull it, but couldn't. But I'm going to play this video for you right now, and I'm thankful for Eugene for making these videos. But listen to what this man is saying, and if you guys want to come watch this, it's a good watch. But then I realized if I was on probation or parole or something, or if something ended up happening, they can regulate me making social media and what I can and can't do within the state. So a cop told this to me, and I got it on camera, that the state doesn't want to take your kids. But this is what I'm going to tell you all. When people end up dealing with DCFS or with the state or with crimes and stuff, they have total control of your life now. They can tell you what classes to take, when to show up to court, how they're going to show up and deal with probation, or what the parameters are to live. And so that's when it hit me. That's how they still get people to be slaves. If I would have got caught up with charges in a felony or misdemeanor, they could have made me delete my comment and or told me what I can or can't say online. So watch what this man's about to say and how it all ties together. It's surprising the language they still use.
Tell him basically how cops started in America as slave patrols and slave catchers, and how, it's different now and this, that, and the other. But my argument would be actually that cops never stopped slavery or slave patrols. They're on slave patrols currently right now. They're doing it every fucking day because America never actually banned slavery. We thought we did, but we didn't. If you actually read the wording, it's right here. It says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime wherever or whereof.
No slavery or involuntary servitude except for crime. Once you do go to prison, let's say even outside of getting out and doing what they tell you to do, they tell you got to fill out so many job applications, you have to hold a job on probation, all this other stuff. When you're inside there, they can get free labor. They're getting, a lot of these private prisons are contracted and they get millions and billions of dollars to hold prisoners who are now slaves, right? And then even when you're in there, they can make you do forced labor, free kitchen work, basically, for low commissary. The commissary is 100 times, some of the items in there cost 100 times what they would cost in normal stores. I'm telling you. I have a brother dealing with this right now, and I'm flabbergasted that my brother is still in prison because he was already on probation and then communicating with people who committed a murder. Not committed the murder, not none of this stuff. I'm telling you how this country works. If you're on probation, you're basically under their feet. So now they can get you and making license plates and doing all this other stuff. I'm telling you all.
Party shall have been duly convicted shall exist for the United States. So it says, because these are commas, basically might as well be parentheses, but it says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the U.S. Except.
So all of you all keep saying blacks are criminals and all. They go and search for us, use the law to convict us and destroy us. And then now we're slaves. I'm trying to tell you all. I have no I said this in another video. I know a Caucasian man who I worked with, who this man, when I say worked with, I mean a coworker. This man stole cars, was convicted, but then as an adult, the charges dropped because of the minor law, however it works, is now making $100 a year and got a $70,000 bonus at his job. Me, who have no charges, went to college. They tried to destroy financially, and they tried to diagnose me with depression, which is a mental illness, because I said I was sad because of the current system and why they're not feeding the poor in all these wars. And Dr. Patil out here did it. He doesn't have too many more contracts now, and I'm trying to warn people of the coming retribution, but just continue to follow along. Oh, and this isn't just about criminal court. If they deem you mentally ill and you're in facilities now, or you're dealing with like heritages and stuff, They will take this to the moon and back. I'm telling you, the state does not play, and this needs to be reformed now.
So that just erases everything. Everything you just said. There shall not be any slavery in America, except as a punishment for crime. So for criminals. They'll make a criminal, which you think that's fine. Who gives a fuck? They're criminals. They're pieces of shit. They're like the bottom of society. They deserve to be slaves because they're criminals. So let me just make sure you keep that thought process, because what happened is after they, let all the slaves go, they freed the slaves or whatever, there was a whole bunch of black people that were just kind of standing around. They didn't really have any place to go or a place to be.
And this is what I said when I say they get sneaky with laws. They did the same thing one time. I forgot where the location was at, but they said only family members and close friends and relatives could sell land, because all these African Americans and people started moving into the towns. That whole get out of my town N-word movement. Remember that, America? Right. So when that had happened, the law got overturned. But look how they write these laws to exclude people and harm people.
A thing to do. They didn't own property. They didn't have a job. So they didn't have a place to sleep at night. So they would just kind of stand around and chill. So guess what they did? They invented a crime called loitering. So whenever you're loitering, which is literally just standing around, minding your own fucking business, standing in a place, all of a sudden that's criminal. Now that's criminal. So you can make that criminal a slave again. So all the black people that were just standing around, that didn't have jobs and didn't have a place to go, didn't have a place to sleep, they just made them all criminals again by saying that they're loiterers. That's exactly what they've done repeatedly. They did it with fucking vagrancy. They've done it with drugs. They've done it with pants sagging. I think it was in North Carolina or South Carolina. They passed a law stating that you're not allowed to show your underwear, and if you do show your underwear at all, then cops have the right to stop you and ask for your ID and do all this other shit to you and search you.
You see, before this video, there was another man talking about how policing came to be. And I'm telling you guys, they're doing slave patrol tactics. Identify yourself. Where's your papers? Where's your identification? They're saying the same shit they were saying 200-300 years ago and stopping and frisking people.
Like who the fuck is that attacking? Who is that targeting? You think it's targeting the people that sag their pants a lot? Stop and frisk laws. That was used illegally, or I wouldn't even say illegally. They just fucking used it as a way to be racist. They saw a Hispanic person, they saw a black person, they would go up to them and stop and frisk them. And whether they did something or didn't do anything, doesn't matter. If they saw him for the 20th time, they would still stop that motherfucker and frisk him again. Which is unconstitutional. All of this shit's unconstitutional. I want you to understand that. The broken windows theory, that they fucking have done, broken windows policing. I'm telling you, dude, they do this shit purposely to make sure that they can continue slavery. Because slavery was never stopped in America. We just changed who the owners were. So the owners of the slaves are now governments. The actual government, whether it's state, federal, local, doesn't matter, city, fucking county, the government owns the slaves. And then
Now watch this. At first it was the peoples and the Confederate, right? Then the federal government got involved, and Abraham Lincoln and all these great freedom fighters. Now the feds owned it. You see what I'm saying? The federal government turned it to the Islamic caliphates.
Pimp out the slaves to Walmart.
And now he's about to talk about how the plantation turned to the corporation plantation. I told you all this stuff. When you deal with probation and stuff, they force you to get a job. They force you to be a part of the system, and they can ruin your life if you don't.
Victoria's Secret, McDonald's, Whole Foods. That's just 5. I asked for 5 examples, and I got 5 examples. I'm pretty sure you could ask for 100, and they would give you 100. These corporations have benefited off of slave labor. They currently, right now in America, benefit.
Now think about this. People say America's the richest country. You guys got money everywhere. Blah, blah. Your money's worth the most. Okay. You guys aren't looking at it scaled from our country. What you're doing is you're playing the game unscaled. See, you'll look at America and you'll be like, we're all powerful warriors. But you won't go into the country and see how the scaling works. So if rent is $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month, if phone bills are like hundreds a month, if internet and Wi-Fi, depending on what type of plan you got, but anything that's outside of government assistance is like $50 to $100. You got your insurances, life insurance, property taxes, property insurance, all these different bills, not even including medical. Even if you do have insurance, you got to pay co-pays and for medicine and all this stuff. But people be like, you guys are in the richest country. So that makes it even more detrimental. You guys say your countries are poor and stuff is less expensive. So if you're poor in this country, you're worse than the other countries because you're basically starved. Are you guys eating in the other countries? You'll say, we're starving, but you're still alive, so you're eating something. People over here have to, okay, you'll be like, we got to eat cups of noodles. But how do you boil a cup of noodles if you're on the streets? You got to buy like some bologna and bread if you're lucky and eat those sandwiches until the bologna go bad. I'm telling you how it works. There's no refrigeration, I don't even know how to explain it. We can't go over to Center Street, set a campfire, and put a pot down like they do in these videos in these exotic lands. You'll get arrested. You're basically trapped in Candyland if you don't get out right. And I'm trying to warn people of this.
Of slave labor. We never abolished slavery in America. Every time a cop is putting a person in jail and that person is duly convicted of a crime,
I can guarantee you, all these immigrants they're talking about, I can guarantee you after these people have seen this legal system, none of them are committing these crimes that these people are talking about. And if there are crimes being committed, it's because humans commit crimes. And a lot of times people are put in situations where they have to steal to survive. And then when they do, because of the way these systems are set up, they're the ones that are accused. And not anymore.
they're now a slave. Why do you think that the majority of, or the disproportionality of people that are in prison are black? Because this is still a racist system. Okay, I argue about systemic racism and interpersonal racism all the time because the two, like, people get those two things very, very confused. And we've done a lot to fix systemic racism in America as well. But the one place that we haven't, because it's still codified into the fucking Constitution, it hasn't actually been fixed or amended.
So while people say there's no racism, even the Constitution is making slaves of people if they commit crime, which is going to stop. And we're going to start honoring separation from church and state. This is getting ridiculous because some of the most neo-Nazi racist people I've ever met were Christians and religious people. I'm telling you. So enough. This stuff has to be refined now. Bandhammer.
Yeah. Is slave.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm actually not going to go live with this one because I really am just not in the mood. But I just wanted to put out a public service announcement. I had already basically said that all forms of religion in the government is illegal. This is their laws. And according to their laws, any form of religion in the government is against the law and should be met with court and removal from government. I mean, I don't understand how it works. You guys went after all these African Americans for crimes, remember APB, but the government itself is breaking the law. If I continue to watch America go and fund Israel to murder and steal lands and all these other lands, dude, I'm going to get really upset, like really upset. My emotions are going to run hot. And I may become a fiery person because I may say what I'm saying to you all may seem silly, I guess, if you all haven't figured it out yet. But the blatant disrespect, the number of innocent people dying because of the stupidity. So I'm about to make a statement. If I see one more video of people discussing why Israel's about to come back after Iran, if I see any more propaganda perpetuating war and World War III and all this other stupid shit, I'm going to begin to post ex-slavery movies and videos. And if any of my content is removed, I'm going to sue YouTube. And I'm going to explain why. If I cannot talk about history, you all can say on the news and on the air that aliens invented Africa and came down and made Africa. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. You all will put people in mental institutions for talking about religion, but will let these Caucasians on the air say that aliens built Africa because Africans are running around with spears and shit. So, if I continue to see videos of Iran shooting missiles over at people, if I continue to see videos of Israel and ISIS-Rael and their war shooting up civilians and blowing up places and bombing places, I'm going to show legions of hours of slave videos of Africans being whipped and beaten, and you all hanging my people. I mean, matter of fact, that's what I want to see. Since y'all got such a problem, because I don't understand how you have a problem with critical race theory, but y'all love talking about Israel and Palestine. Those are two different races. So how the fuck does America have anything to even do with any of this? Remember, you guys are all, oh, pure blood, pure blood. I bet y'all love that show. Pure Blood with the vampires and shit. So like I said, I woke up to all these Zionist Jewish people showing the Iron Dome doing its job and blocking all these missiles and talking smack about how Israel's about to respond and destroy Lebanon and blah, 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 and destroy. I'm going to explain something to y'all about guerrilla warfare. In a world where y'all don't know shit because y'all wake up, run your fucking shitty mouths, and sit on your couches and fart all day and make content, I guess. How do y'all know that these people aren't sending people in here to shoot? Okay, so I guess in my mind, if I know everything that Israel can do, now I'm a Lebanese, and I'm just finna shoot missiles at Israel, seeing what they just did to Gaza and Palestine and all these other places. I don't think these are these people. And with the amount of technology that exists, I believe a lot of this shit is conspiracy. Hell, for all I know, how do I know it's not like the Republicans and Democrats? How do I know they're not just showing us images of shit being blown up, giving free demolition and construction while people are paying them billions, right? How do we know? What do we really know? We're giving credits to a system that we know nothing about. Why is the Iron Dome costs $100,000 a missile to block, but they can't give us reparations? They can't get us out of the fucking poor. They can't fix these ghettos. They can and they will. I'm tired of this rhetoric and these lies. Putin is doing the same thing Netanyahu is doing to Nazis, but they don't like when Caucasians go through what the Middle Eastern people go through. I have on camera spoke the future. I believe in science and philosophy and all this, but after what I've done for the last 2-3 years, I will never, ever, ever, fuck all this delusion. This shit ain't true shit. Because if I listen to y'all, I will be okay with y'all bombing children, sending fake insurgents, causing guerrilla warfare. The amount of groups that I have witnessed America and the EU create and then fund wars to stop them after they created it? Nah, This shit is pure lies. All of it. I think that's why they're pumping this election so hot and making such an ass of Trump. Because they don't want y'all to know what they are doing over there, and that's enough of that. I am telling the truth. I have sat here and witnessed them within a 3-hour span say a storm went from a category 3 to a category 4, that it was going to destroy and ruin all this stuff. And then when I spoke into existence righteously without pretending to be a dictator and all this other psycho shit involved, because I don't listen to Baal, I spoke this shit into existence that this storm was going to go away, and it went away. There's no science to explain that. I said my histoplasmosis is going to be healed. I am who I am. I'm the living one. Did everything right, and the shit got healed. All my tests came back and said everything was going away. After a year and some change of these doctors not being able to figure out what to do and giving me experimental medicine. Am I shaming them? No. Did I take their medicine? Yes. But then I started doing certain things and it went away. I said Trump and Kanye was finna do. I called Trump. I called Kanye Gestapo, and I said mind Trump and made a video about it and talked about what they was about to do. My video got struck off YouTube. A week later, Kanye said he loved Hitler, and Trump a year later was caught quoting Mein Kampf in a speech. I have spoke so much shit into existence, and I'm done with the signs and bullshit. I'm about to change the world in my way. I'm about to write poetry and do what I have to do. Nobody else wants to believe me. Everybody else wants to say sleep. If that's what they choose, because who I am gives free will. And I keep telling people over and over and over. God gives free will and all this other stuff. Who I am gives free will, as you all can see. But now, not anymore. Not the way that you all are doing. This is fucking crazy. This is insane. If I allow this to happen, even if I'm not affected physically, mentally, I will lose my mind. Watching you all kill and destroy each other and then argue like fucking bots. Pierce Morgan sounds like a fucking bot. Jesse Lee Peterson sounds like a bot from hell. They like don't possess. I was listening to a man on Yaju. This is what I'm trying to tell Yaju Yehuda, man. We all have it. He's sitting here saying nobody can teach the Bible. Only Christ can teach the Bible. He is he. They have to go to him to get the... Dude, you're going to piss me the fuck off. I mean, because even the people on his panel was like, they asked, because this girl was frying that. People are like taking them out, bro. But I don't think they even can comprehend what's happening on camera. This dude was like, the girl's like, he's like, do you speak to God? And she's like, yeah, I talk to God. Woo. And he was like, that's crazy. I don't know how, because who are you talking to, sis? And that's your imagination. And I don't know who it is you talk to. He doesn't even have the voice of who I am. He's learning out of the book. He found Yaju Yehuda because he believes in the book, but nobody can teach the book but Christ. Like they're fucking... Calm down. I'm trying to get people to understand that they are steadily everybody. Peter, Paul, all these people teaching religion are crucifying who you are. I'm telling you they are. That's what happened to the man in that book. Yaju Yehuda keeps saying nobody was crucified. It's a metaphor. He's going to piss me the fuck off. Jehohanan, Giannis, how the fuck you Greeks and Romans want to pronounce his name, Ben Hagkol, Ben Hagios, the son of the anointed one, came bearing a name, the name of the living one, and they crucified and killed him because he wouldn't bow to kings. His fiery spirit and word spread throughout the land, and that's how y'all got this story. You've already been taught by Christ, your spirits, but you're being baptized unrighteously because of how they're writing these holy books. There's curses everywhere in this book. In those books, sorry. The Bible that the Pope and the Germans wrote. And now the Israelis are reaping on because everybody believes in Israel and have no idea that that's an African name and African gods. In the beginning, they curse all of mankind, Adam, and then his children, Cain and Abel. Then they curse his other son, Seth's family line. Do you want to see what Noah wrote in that book? Noah didn't write none of that. It's a character in a book. So, like I said, man, we're about to learn the truth about race. We're about to learn the truth about fucking America and what some of these Caucasian Americans, most of these Caucasian Americans, I'm tired of this, oh, we didn't own slaves, we weren't racist. If it was true, this country would not be as fucking racist and miserable as this. I'm tired. Stop with the, oh, I'm different. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, black and white. I'm sick of the bullshit. You all are continually, steadily programming children to live this shit out, and I'm tired of it. These curses in here. So, whatever y'all got going on, your cosplay, fantasies, lures, I have showed you all the truth on camera. I've showed you the name. I've showed you our power. I've showed you how grace and mercy works when you do it righteously. How you can be continually protected even when the world tries to destroy you and your finances and your character. Nothing can harm who I am. And I've told them what happened when a man set to show the power and spirit through death and resurrection. Who is Giannis? Who is Juannie Jr.? Who is JB? I'm JB. John the Baptist. Johannes Ben Hagkol. I'm Baruch Hashem. Bruce, the God of Hashem, is blessed. Y'all are playing in cosplay land, and the longer it takes you to wake up, the longer y'all gonna play in hell. Because this is paradise, but y'all are trying to turn it to hell, but who I am are like the fires that don't consume. So you will destroy yourselves playing with who I am. I've said this over and over and over for almost 2-3 years now. 2.5 years now. So, Like I said, it's like the song of "It Don't Matter to Me." This Michael Jackson song that Drake remixed. I heard Kendrick Lamar backed out of that halftime show, and now Lil Wayne's gonna do it. That's much more appropriate. Kendrick, learn yourself and your surroundings, bro. Because as I told Jay-Z, he got one coming. Jehovah, as you will. Boy, he loves taking the names of the word and spirit, the anointed ones. But boy, he got rich off of them not doing shit righteously and very vainly. And his wife B, Jay-Z and his wife Beyonce, B.I. Y'all just can't get enough, huh? But, like I said, I'm continuing to show mercy and kindness, but not in the way where y'all are like, oh, I can free grace my way into. No, fuck all that. The only time Yahweh came down and talked to y'all, he told y'all to follow the 10 commandments. And then somebody decided to break them bitches and give y'all 613 laws and then use the Ark of the Covenant. 3 more laws. That's 616, who the Greeks was calling the mark of the beast. So apparently, after they did what they did with the law of Aaron and a man got killed in real history, then a man named Josephus betrays his people and goes with Titus and Vespasian into Rome, takes the word into Rome, and then all of Judah gets destroyed afterwards. This is written history. Like y'all just, it's right there in plain writing. And y'all just, who I call Peter, who has now a Greek name. Are y'all not like, I just can't. And who was the one that kissed the Lord first? Peter, Judas. How was Judah created? Through the fucking Pope and the Roman Catholics. These Vikings and these Norse pagans, and I like them keep saying they're the original Jewish. It's like, I don't know if y'all are like off or something, but wake the fuck up. I'm here. And all this repenting, no, I am here now. Now y'all finna listen to what I'm telling y'all. I'm tired of playing with stupidity. This whole Arab and Jewish and Muslim and Israel, fuck all that shit. Any form of Judaism, Islam, y'all want to say in God we trust because it's who I am. So whatever, but fix this shit. Something else I wanted to add. I just had an interesting conversation with Xfinity Comcast, and I asked them a question. I said, so if a customer is in debt, and this is how I feel about all companies at this point. If a customer is in debt, will you all do anything to relieve them, take away their debt, and help them, and let them start over possibly? And I was told a bunch of different things at first, but then I told the man, I said, okay, let's stop playing, and I'm going to ask one more time. And I asked more seriously, and he said no. And so there will be no more auto bailouts, bank bailouts, all this home bailouts, all this other shit. I'm tired of companies not only robbing people, but then afterwards, they're the ones that's bailed out. Any company that's bailed out, the politician that does so, their character will be destroyed, or president, whatever. I'm tired. I mean, what do you all want? These people, y'all are able to give out big old stimuluses, tax breaks. I mean, just all kind of stuff to people, while the people who are constantly and consistently oppressed are destroyed over and over. This you think because I advocate for Russia and China helping Africa, those people, what do you think is going to happen to their countries? All oppressors, all elites, all the kings will be brought low. I will not bow, and who I am will be redeemed. Anybody that's not willing to help me, anybody that's not willing to lift me up again and tell the truth about the covenant, or stop playing this stupid fucking fantasy land and actually help what's real and the broken and the poor and the African Americans and I know I talk about men and women, but African American men and women have both been oppressed in the system. That's not what this is. I'm just expressing myself sometimes. But like I said, dude, nobody's willing to help me up or the poor or broken or fix the system and repair and do all the shit we keep asking. Then fine. Because I am who I am, and I am the bloodborn prince. The spirit and the flesh agree with the waters. So, y'all take that how you will. Y'all made a bunch of promises to Yahweh, JB. Y'all were supposed to do a bunch of things to make my world beautiful. Y'all do not know what any of this is. You listen to scientists and all these other people. But then millions of you all will pick up a book, exploit the book, pimp the book, steal all of the resources, and then by the time I'll give you an example. If all of this is a prophecy of somebody to come, a prophecy of somebody's kingdom, then y'all have taken everything that I could have and would have done and basically stole my garden, stole my world, and acted a fucking nut with it and turned it into entertainment. And so now I will be the one that entertains, and now y'all will get a little bit of the old school. Well, y'all call it the Old Testament? Because I am tired of fucking playing. So, let's start off with some of these plagues and famines.